This is a test.
Hi.
This is a test.
Tamilla.
Testing to make sure that things are working the way that they are supposed to.
How you feeling this
Not
morning?
sure what's happening.
I'm in between. I'm going into therapy, so I'm getting off.
Hey, you better go in there happy. Nicole, you driving already? What
There
the heck is going on? Therese.
I'm going to work, my brother. I'm going to work.
Uh-oh. First, this is your third day back. Oh, my God. Yes, sir.
So welcome to my Life-Changing Alliances Wellbeing Wednesday call. My family is getting all situated coming to the room. And so we will have some amazing content today. It's going to be life-changing. So get your pencil and your paper ready because this is going to be a good one. So sit back, relax, and as we get through our introductions and all of that, then I'm going to share some amazing information with you regarding health and well-being. So stay plugged.
Hey, Laverne, how you feeling?
Join the meeting.
And then we got Miss Laverne Spruill. We got Kathy in the building. We sure do. So it looks like Darlena might be ready this morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
Hey, how you feeling today?
Doing great, thanks. Doing great. How are you?
I am fantastic today, young
Kathy.
The thing for the trade-in will be up next week. So.
Oh my God, Mr. Craig is in the house. Sean, how are you? We got Galaxy 9. We also have Galaxy A11. You guys gonna learn how to fix your phone. So I know some names.
I'm at work.
You can still fix it. That's your computer.
So did we not put it yet?
Who are you that's at work? Who's at work? Therese?
Sean.
Who?
Sean.
Dawn. How you doing? Okay.
I'm good.
No problem. All right. We didn't talk to Sean. All right, Sean. That's what I'm saying. Laverne is in the building.
It's the people. It's the people. It's the people. It's the
Like
people.
Saturday
So today's going to be amazing. We're going to talk about the dangers of microwaving your food and using plastic.
Are you ready?
So I'm just waiting for them to let me start. So just hold on.
Well, let me go ahead and fix this so we can bring the elderberry. That's what I'm saying.
That's right. Echinacea plus elderberry.
That's a good combination. Echinacea plus elderberry.
I know that's right. I know. Got you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to that hour where Miss Darlena Rose has been in the building. I had the opportunity to see her this week. Or was it this week?
Yes.
Yeah, it was this. I think it was this week.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. She was around my house. I had to put her out. I did have to put her out. Sorry about that. But, she remembers this time. Y'all remember. That's an oversized joke.
Oh.
But anyway. And it's time to bring Miss Darlena Rose up here on the set. So, with that being said, she got a black one. She ready to kill something today, baby. So, y'all can best believe we're going to have something for you. I have no idea, and I don't have nothing to do with it. I want to let you know, guys, it's coming at you right about there. Hold on, Darlena. Get your mic, girl. There it is.
Great morning, grand rising to all of the kings and queens this morning. I'm so excited to be here as always. And start with those inside jokes. My thing can't. I can't. It throws me off. I'm gonna get DJ Lynn on you. Keep it up.
Oh my gosh.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. So over the past I don't know, couple of weeks visiting different people, I'm seeing some old behaviors repeated. And so in the vein of taking care of old behaviors, I want to share what I saw and tell you how bad it is for you. And what I saw was people microwaving food in a bunch of plastic. And the microwave oven damages your health in so many ways. So today we're going to talk about what your microwave is doing to you. Because some of you diehards do not want to let it go or do not want to minimize your use. So hopefully when I share this information, some minimization of microwaves and maybe possibly some microwaves being thrown in the trash may happen.
Oh, no, we know it happens. That's going to happen for real. I hope it is.
Oh my goodness. Like so, you know, microwave. So we spend a lot of money on our food, right? And food is for us to optimize our health, for us to, you know, pay attention to not only the food quality, but, you know, when you prepare this expensive, organic, good for you food, you want to use methods to prepare it that's going to not impair the food quality. And microwave severely impairs the food quality. You know, studies suggest that even microwaving your food could expose you to carcinogenic toxins released from plastic and other paper wrappers and destroy all of those valuable nutrients that are in your food. One scientist found that microwave food increased cholesterol levels, decreased red and white blood cell counts, and decreased hemoglobin and produce radiolytic compounds. So it made your food radioactive. So we don't even realize sometimes that I'm just going to heat it up real quick. And when you heat it up real quick, it destroys your good food that you paid your hard-earned good money for. So you will never catch me putting food in the microwave. This girl. No. I would eat my good food cold before I put it in the microwave. So I have a very special steam toaster oven. I also use my regular oven. And I also invested in some good quality pots that I use to reheat my food. So let me just tell you that part first, because, you know, I know you want your food heated. I know you do. And you want it to be hot. And a lot of times you microwave your food, it don't even stay hot long. And then it makes it all rubbery and stuff. So, you know, we know that what we eat has a big effect on our health. And so, you know, you are what you eat is really true. But you have to consider not only what you buy, but also how you cook it. So when it comes to the microwave oven, the price for convenience is really compromising your health. So yeah, it's just not good. I think about sometimes how bad the food can get, but the food definitely, it changes in so many ways. I'm going to tell you how. You know, if you it's almost like you know how your kitchen sponge soaks up all these different bacteria and all of that, and then eventually the sponge smells funny and then you get rid of it. So it's sort of like that. It contaminates your food, and it adds this damaging radiological material. So in a lot of, you know, when you think about the food already, you know, our soil is so bad. You know, over the past century, we found that the quality of the fresh fruit has declined due to the soil, right? You know, the soil depletion, you know, unsustainable industry farming practices, overproduction of the crops, the artificial fertilizers and toxic pesticides and herbicides, and that glyphosate, which is cancer causing, that takes the minerals out of the soil. So you can't assume that you're getting all your vitamins and all your minerals and all your enzymes and all your phytonutrients you need by eating just fresh produce anyway. And even if you eat organic stuff, you know, there's a movie called, it's called Dirt, the movie. And on Dirt, the movie, they talk about the soil is supposed to have 56 minerals in it. And a few years ago, when that movie came out, there was only 3 minerals in the dirt. So you're already getting deficient food. And so that's why I teach so heavily that we should be using supplements. We should be taking a multivitamin, a multimineral, and whatever other thing, D3 and B12 and all of that, especially B12 if you are a vegan or vegetarian, because you're not getting it from meat. So a bunch of reasons why we have to already do that. So that's not surprisingly that the amount of nutrition in a calorie of food has reduced over the past 50 years. The last study says that the food composition has shown 5 to 40% decline in some of the minerals in fresh produce. And another study found a similar decline in protein sources as well. So now, even more than ever, you want to maximize and being careful to getting the best bang for your buck when it comes to the food that you eat. And so the microwave oven, the research is all over, says not only will it go against your efforts in eating better, it will threaten your health by violently ripping the molecules in your food apart, rendering them not good for you at best and carcinogenic at worst. So this convenience has more than one toxic threat. So microwaves heat the food by causing the molecules to vibrate 2.5 billion times per second, eventually turning into steam that heats the food. So while your microwave can rapidly heat a dish, it also alters the food's chemical structures. Structures of the water molecules are torn apart and forcibly deformed. So this is different than conventional heating of the food, whereby the heat is transferred convectionally from the outside inward. And so contrary to popular belief, microwave foods don't actually cook from the inside out. Microwave cooking begins within the molecules where the water is present. Since not all the areas contain the same amount of water, the heating is uneven. So when the foods are thicker that are cooked, hold on, I lost my place. So when the thicker foods are cooked, the microwave heats the outer layers, and then the inner layers are cooked mostly by the conduction of the heat from the hot outside layers inward. So our knowledge of the danger has radically increased since microwave ovens were first introduced to consumers more than 40 years ago. And it all came out of the idea that the housewife needed faster ways to prepare food, because now this housewife is possibly going to work and helping outside of the house, so she needed more things to be convenient. And so it first started with packaged food. All of a sudden there was no need to cut up cheese and make macaroni and cheese. It came in a box. All of a sudden Hamburger Helper was born. All you got to do is add meat to the box. So all of these packaged quick things came about, and then the microwave came about. And so now you don't have to pull out your pots. You could just leave it in the packaging and put it in the microwave, press the button, and you're good to go. So it was good. It was, the idea of it was great. the idea was great, but the danger is now being, told. And I remember when we really started microwaving, and my husband said, I don't know, babe, I don't think this is a good idea, because one day they're going to say anybody who had more than 40 plates of microwave food is going to die. So it might not take 40, but it definitely can affect your health in a very negative way. So it depletes your food of its nutritional value. But it can also produce carcinogenic toxins in more ways than one. So especially when you're using plastic. So when plastic is heated, the toxic chemicals like BPA and phthalates can leach out of the containers or covers and contaminate your food with endocrine and hormone disruptors. So we're talking about things that can affect your mood, your everything. It's not good for you. These plastics and even some of these newer paper biodegradable things, they have been shown to have some really toxic chemicals in them too. And sometimes even your food being warm in those paper containers can be a carcinogen as well. So there's a whole article that I've read about the paper products, because we were like, oh, that's good. Everything is in paper. You go to the restaurant now, instead of them giving you plastic, they give you these nice foldable cardboard boxes. The foldable cardboard boxes, it didn't have anything bad about them. It's the ones that like Chipotle uses. They're like they look like cardboard, and they kind of got like a rough surface. Those ones are the ones that they really talked about as being having carcinogenic things in them. So it's like, okay, so now I don't have plastic, but now I have this biodegradable paper, but the biodegradable paper is bad too. I'm like, oh my goodness. So you just want to either, if you're going to warm food in the microwave and you want to be a diehard and you don't want to listen, then use glass or use ceramic, because those things are they're not plastic and they're not biodegradable. So I would use one of those things in order to do that. But again, when it's heated, these toxic chemicals come through these containers and leach into your food. And so there's a study that was published in 1990 that reported that the leakage of the toxic chemicals from the packaging in common microwave foods, including pizza, popcorn, those chemicals included, okay, this is a long one, polyethylene terephthalate, PET, a when they say well-documented carcinogen like dioxin, benzene, toluene, and xylene. And in addition to that, something called HTAs, heterocyclic amines, and all these other hydrocarbons, PAHs, advanced glycation end products, AGEs, all known as glycotoxins, also form when food is cooked in high heat on the microwave. All three of those things are known carcinogens, and those compounds are not present in raw food. More than 90% of our exposure to these carcinogens comes from cooked foods, cooked in the microwave. So it really is setting you up for failure. Like, you are going out spending your good, hard-earned pandemic money. People are out here trying to make it, trying to get these coins together. We out here Bitcoining and crypto and doing all this stuff, and you go out and you spend your money on some good food, and then you microwave it and destroy it. So you might not know, but the microwave oven, they operate on these gigahertz frequencies. very similar to 4G cellular networks, right? So the danger and the justification why not is not exactly identical, but conventional science and industry are clinging to the concept that microwaves from your cell phone, portable phones, Wi-Fi routers, smart meters, wireless computers, and tablets are not harmful because they don't cause any thermal damage. But we talked about 5G and all that before. All of those things are dangerous. All of those things are dangerous. All of those things are dangerous. That's why you shouldn't keep your phone in your bedroom at the top of your head while you're trying to sleep. All these wireless things, wireless cameras, all this wireless stuff already traveling through us already. And so, granted, the heat is not hot, but these wireless and things, they cause these other damage called EMFs or electromagnetic field damage. So that's another call. That's another subject. But know that all those things are dangerous. So you don't want to, especially like to children, you should never have a child with a cell phone up to their ear. They should always use a wired headphone when they're on a cellular device. I saw an illustration of a man with a cell phone on his head, and it took 3 minutes for the radiation to go from one ear to like his nose, right? But on a 6-year-old child holding a phone to their head, the radiation went completely through their entire brain because the blood-brain barrier in a child is much thinner than it is on an adult. So be mindful of that. We'll talk about cell phones again at a later time, but that came up, so I needed to tell you that. So the new research, this emeritus Dr. Martin Pall, who's a PhD, he's provided us with a mechanism of how this low-level non-thermal microwave exposure causes biological harm. And it has to do with these things called voltage-gated chemical channels, VGCCs. They are embedded in the cell membranes. And so he determined that by evaluating over 24 studies showing how you can radically reduce biological microwave damage using calcium channel blockers. So this just says that, while the argument that the microwave radiation is not high enough to cause thermal damage is so flawed, because the statement is partially correct, because the radiation doesn't cause the thermal damage. It causes massive biological damage by messing with the cells. And so there's these papers that have documented that various non-thermal health effects of electromagnetic fields, of those all about how they really are affecting us, and they making us think that all this stuff is safe, and none of it is. So it causes this damage because once these you put your thing in the microwave and these VGCCs are activated, 1 million calcium ions per second. These ions then stimulate the release of nitric oxide, which combines with a superoxide form. All these long words that create free radicals, which we know about, and they decimate the mitochondrial and nuclear DNA membranes and proteins that lead to mitochondrial dysfunction, and that is the core of chronic disease. And so these mitochondrial cells, when they start to get sick, they start to die off and all that kind of stuff, and they cause inflammation in the body. If you know anything about Tony Robbins does a whole lot of things to take care of his body. One of the things he does is a cold plunge. He has a cold plunge pool in his yard. and the plunge pool is maybe 2 feet by 3 feet, and it has ice cold water in it. And he jumps in this ice cold water and then he gets out. But the shock of the ice cold water, that's why they tell you to take cold showers. That's why this influx of cryo therapy places exist. And what it does is the cold shocks the body and kills all those half-dead mitochondrial cells so that they do not cause chronic disease. It kills them off immediately. That's why so many of my friends, I just take a cold shower. If you take a cold shower, it does the same thing. You know, you get your whole body cold and you hop out. And that kills those cells so that they cannot cause this chronic disease. And so this doctor calculated that these VCCs are over 7 million times more sensitive to microwave radiation than charged particles inside and outside. So that just means that it's really not good to microwave your food. It says the highest density of the VGCs in our body are the brain and the nerve tissues. And like it says that this could explain why having people have increased diseases like autism and Alzheimer's and anxiety and depression and male infertility. All this stuff is affected by microwaving your food.
I got a question.
Yes.
Is it okay to what's the listen. All right.
Come on.
First question. I got a question. What you say you had, Laverna? She said cryotherapy.
Cryotherapy.
What is that?
Cryotherapy is when you go into this machine and it's like -0 something degrees and you step in it and you're in it not long, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. And it's just like it's like a special freezer, 2 minutes. And you get in there and you stand in there. And when you do that, that kills those mitochondrial cells that are weak and dead already. And by doing that, it keeps you with only fresh new cells. So these cells that are sick and dying cannot cause chronic or terminal illness. So,
okay.
And you can do the same thing with taking a cold shower or jumping in a cold thing of water. You notice sometimes when athletes get hurt, they put them in ice water. All of those things are helpful for that. So yeah.
Well, here's the question.
Yes.
So anything, when you said, what is the difference in a microwave and a convection oven?
A convection oven doesn't use radiation. It just uses heat. You know, microwave.
What about it?
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. What's the question?
So there's this new oven or stove that we have in the RV.
Mm-hmm.
And it is called what is it called? Microconvection.
I never heard of such. And it sounds like unless it's saying it's a miniature convection oven, then that's cool. If it's saying it's a microwave convection oven, then it's not cool. So, you know, when you think about an RV, everything is compact anyway. And so they may be trying to find a way to give you microwave technology, but it wouldn't be no microwave in my joint. It just can't. It just can't. Because not only that, some microwaves leak radiation as well into the air when you're not even using them. So, and you don't know that, especially your microwave. Oh, that you had it for a while. Like all kinds of things can be happening with those type of things. But yeah, I definitely, Laverna, I subscribe to toaster ovens. I subscribe to air fryers. I subscribe to using the oven, and I subscribe to using a good set of pots. And it's so funny. People think that it takes longer to heat your food in a pot. It really doesn't. It really does not. It takes the same amount of time. And it's all about creating a habit. See, I don't even think about microwave when I go in the kitchen and I know I'm about to eat something hot. I automatically just pick up a pot and start doing what I'm doing. I don't even think about, do I want to put it in the microwave? Because I don't. It's like some houses come with microwaves and you can't get rid of them because they, in the wall or whatever, especially if it's a rental, you can't remove it. But I don't even think to use it. My friends like, oh, just put it in the microwave. I won't. Yes, crock pots, rice cookers, pressure cookers, Instapots, all of those are good. I was saying crock pots, Instapots, pressure cookers, all of those things are fine because none of them are using microwave energy, and so it's really important because, daily use of microwaves is enough energy to directly break down bonds and damage your DNA in the way that it is ionizing radiation from these gamma rays that are in the microwave. And, there's so much study about the DNA damage. You think about people with Alzheimer's and anxiety and all that kind of stuff. How much microwave food are they eating? Maybe the microwave food has something to do with it, especially if it's somebody older and they're really not cooking like that and they're receiving meals that they could just pop in the microwave. Like, we want to be mindful. These things seem small, but really on a grand scale of things, when you think about somebody having 3 microwave meals a day and how much exposure that is. So you want to minimize exposure that will, damage your DNA, increase your risk for chronic illness, but seriously impair your body's ability to remove toxins and impair your immune response to, there's so many pathogenics and infectious things that we can be exposed to. And even, things like parasites, we're regularly encountering those in our body. And so as we are eating these things from the microwave, it really can cause a whole bunch of stuff. Yes, you got to pop your own popcorn because even the packaging, the stuff that's in microwave popcorn, I read a whole article on microwave popcorn and what's in those packs. And I used to buy the 12 pack because I love me some microwave popcorn. But you know what they say, when you know better, you do better. And so now I know better. And that's not even a thing that has been on my grocery list for more than 10 years now. And I find that if I really, yes, the 12 pack. The 12 pack was where it was at. Like, you're not going back out. You having popcorn every day. Popcorn is a great snack. It tastes good and, all of that. But now if you want it, you got to pop it in the air popper, or you got to pop it on the stove, to get it, because, these microwaves expose us to, it says energy density of milliwatts per square centimeter of this bad these gamma rays and radiation. Like, it's easily thousands, if not millions of times higher than the energy density shown to cause biological damage in hundreds of studies. So this damage shows up in the micro to picowattage range. So every time you turn on your microwave oven, you're exposing yourself to microwave radiation densities thousands of times higher than your cell phone. This is the reason why we, say remove it from your house altogether. This damage to your good food and how much money you spend, is really not, it's a whole waste of money. Like you, I mean, I know I spend money on my food. I know I do. And even on some of the things that I get delivered, I couldn't imagine and y'all know, y'all put it in there and the food is good. Even like leftovers, the food is really good the first night. And then the second night you go to heat it up in the microwave and then you might be not paying attention. And then when you get it, it's all rubbery or it's just dried out or whatever. And you done messed up your food. It's like, oh my goodness. So listen, especially if you got some leftover pizza, turn on the oven, turn on the toaster oven, drop it in there. It tastes like you just bought it. Same thing with anything fried. Put it in a toaster oven. It tastes so much better. And then your vegetables and stuff, pop them on the stove and saute them a little bit with a little bit of water, a little bit of olive oil or some good source butter, you know, and it just tastes so much better. And guess what? It stays hot way longer. Way longer. When you put it in the microwave, it don't even stay hot long. I'm like, this is a waste of time. So yeah, so that you want to do that, you know, these things are happening, you know, is this direct biological damage that you cause yourself and your family every time you turn that on. And the closer you are to the oven, the higher the energy density and the worse the damage will be to you, your personal body. The microwave will cook the cook if you stand too close. Okay? So, and these toxins that are produced by microwaves happen in nearly all types of foods. It's not like, oh, it's not going to mess up the hot dogs, or it's only going to mess up the hot dogs, but it's not going to mess up the steak. No, the research says that it is going to affect everything that you put in it. So, you know, it says they did some research at the University of California, and they concluded that microwave produce heterocyclic and aromatic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. Both are suspected carcinogens. And some of these same things are produced when frying your foods too. Polycyclic and aromatic hydrocarbons are created in frying food as well. So these things are all happening while you're making your good food, feeding it to your husband, feeding it to your wife, feeding it to your children, feeding it to your grandchildren. And some of y'all even throw food down to the dog after you microwave it too. So you mess it with your family pet as well. So, you know, aside from these HCAs and PHAs from microwaving the meat also produces a carcinogen, a long word. And so that's what happens in the meat. But with microwaving milk and grains, like doing your oatmeal.
Yo!
What? Just take it all in, Slim. Just take it all in. Just take it all in. Just take it all in, Slim. It's okay. So when you microwaving your oatmeal with milk and grains, those amino acids are converted into carcinogenic compounds. Even thawing frozen fruit in your microwave will cause glucosides and glycosides into the fruit to convert into carcinogenic compounds. And same thing for plant foods. They're converted into carcinogens and hazardous free radicals. And it doesn't even stop there. Some of these studies go back as far as 1989. There was a Lancet published, and it was talking about microwaving infant formula, and that converted the trans amino acids into this other long word, which is classified as a neurotoxin. Nephrotoxin, meaning they're toxic to the nerves and the kidneys at the same time. People was microwaving their baby bottles, microwaving baby food. Like, no. And then the other thing that was happening when people were microwaving baby bottles was that the milk came out so hot, it burned the baby's throat. You putting it on 20, 30 seconds, and the milk, as soon as the baby sucked the nipple, it goes straight back and burn the throat. Why would you want to do that? In 1991, a Swiss scientist found that microwave food produced carcinogen effects in the bloodstream. People who drink raw milk versus cooked milk versus pasteurized milk, or microwave cooked milk, or organic raw vegetables cooked conventionally, grown vegetables, organic or conventionally frozen vegetables that were warmed in a microwave, or organic fully in a microwave. Before each meal, they did blood tests. They were taken. Those who ate either microwave milk or vegetables had decreased hemoglobin levels, increased cholesterol levels, decreased white and red blood cells, decreased lymphocyte levels, and it increased infection or tissue damage. Wow. Yeah, that's terrible. Those results are truly food for thought. So as soon as you ate it, all these things are happening. So he said he found that when the food molecules are deformed by microwaving, these radiolytic compounds are then formed. So this research suggests that they also appear to have carcinogenic potential. So we're not surprised by that. We're not surprised by that at all. And so these studies, they exist. They definitely exist. Now, does the microwave actually leak radiation? Early models were frequently thought to carry that risk of microwave radiation leaking while in operation. The more modern ones undergo more rigorous testing. So some of those risks are really low. So if you're evaluating thermal damage only, but when you look at the biological damage, the energy densities are highly biologically and significant. So that means that no, it's not leaking heat, but what is leaking is causing this biological damage to your cells. Why? Especially, sometimes you put the food in the microwave and this is what you do. You stand there, you lean on it, lean on the counter waiting for it to, to do its thing. And so the whole time you just kind of, chilling next to it and waiting for the food, and then you take it out and then you start eating it right then and there and hot before it cool off, because it cools off fast. And all of those things are exposing you to potential things that are that cause cancer and break down your mitochondrial cells that causes chronic illness. And when you think about people who are suffering from autism and Alzheimer's and all of that, the question then becomes, how much microwave food are they eating? And the people that's supposed to protect us, like the FDA and the EPA and all these people, they're there, but these folks don't have no teeth to really enforce anything, because most of the people that are on the boards, if you looked at enough of these documentaries, most of the people that are on the boards are on the boards from companies that they would normally ban. So those people stay in those positions to protect them from being banned, and so we want to be so mindful of this. Some people even let their kids use the microwave. Like, that's a no. That's a no. That's a no. That's a no. Not letting kids use microwaves, because they are even more vulnerable, because they are they're so they're still developing and all of that, and so so you don't want to do that. They talked about how many inches. And so it says microwaves that can leak from an oven throughout its lifetime, 5 milliwatts per square centimeter, approximately 2 inches from the oven surface. So because the microwave energy decreases dramatically as you're away from the source of the radiation, a measurement made 20 inches from your oven would be a whole lot less exposure. But remember that the biological effects have been well documented at 0.01 microwatts, which is 500,000 times it lower than what the FDA is saying was acceptable. So we don't want to be close to the microwave while it's on if you're going to use it. Because this is what y'all going to do. Y'all going to go in your kitchen and y'all going to be like, I'm going to just use it one more time. I'm going to quit next week and continue to use it. 2010, and these studies are old. We're in 2021. So they know this stuff. They've been knowing this stuff, but nobody you're not going to see it on mainstream media at all.
What?
No, this is a 2010 study. It examined the effects of 2.4 gigahertz radiation, which is the frequency of radiation emitted by Wi-Fi routers and microwave ovens on the heart. And they found unequivocal evidence that microwave frequency radiation affects the heart at non-thermal levels that are well below federal safety guidelines. It says this is the first study that documents immediate and dramatic changes in both heart rate, heart variability caused by an approved device that generates microwaves at levels 0.3% below federal guidelines of both Canada and United States. So even though it's emitting below what they say is acceptable, it's still causing problems with people's hearts. And so when you think about that, you know, these cells that are in the heart, the heart is so much more it's a more vulnerable organ, you know. And so if you know anybody that's being treated for like arrhythmia or something, there's a high probability that their arrhythmia could be related to their microwave exposure from cell phones, from Wi-Fi, and smart meters. These smart meters are these new things that they put in your house so that they don't have to come to your house to read your meter anymore. You know, you used to have meter reader, come to read the meter. They used to come to your door, knock on your door, go down the basement, read your meter, and come on out. So then they start putting these smart meters on, and so they're Wi-Fi and all this, and so they don't have to do that. And now they can turn your services off by pressing a button, as opposed to having to have somebody come out to your house. So technology is here. Technology is coming. There's ways to protect yourself from that, using copper conductors around those things, using things like black tourmaline and hematite stones around those things can greatly reduce them. Wearing electromagnetic field protectors. I just got to Atlanta, so I left mine on my dresser, but it's like a shungite and pyrite type stone, and you can wear it on your neck, you can wear it on your arm, you can, you know, wear these things as protections against those things. So yeah, what's so funny?
Oh my God.
But the brain is also
looking at me like, oh my God.
Oh, I know. So, but the brain is also sensitive too. You know, when it comes to microwaves and Wi-Fi's and all of that, you know, because it's sensitive to these things because of neurotransmitters, and you know your brain is a very sensitive organ as well, and those things could also contribute to depression and anxiety and ADHD and autism. So anybody with these health challenges is best served by reducing the amount of microwave exposure as well. So you want to kind of do that, not, get that stuff out of your house. And if it's in your house and you can't get rid of it, then you need to do some things to protect yourself and protect your family by using some of those things. And you can Google how to reduce electromagnetic fields in my house, and they'll give you all kinds of things that you can do to do that. I personally use the black tourmaline. I have black tourmaline on my router. I have these disc things. Oh, it's not on the back of this phone. Oh, you can't see it because of my case. But there's two. Let me see if I can take it off. See these? These are electromagnetic field protectors. So it reduces the electromagnetic fields that comes from my phone. So I have these on my phone. I have them on my laptop. I have them on my Wi-Fi router. And anything that is that will put out anything, I put on there. These are very inexpensive. I think for $20 you get like 6 of them, and they're just stickers, and you just stick them on whatever is emitting that. So there's so many things that you can find that will help you to do that. And again, these microwaves absolutely destroy the nutrients in your food. Like that's the key. Like, how much does food cost? How much y'all paying for that steak that you reheating? How much for that organic, grass-fed, antibiotic-free chicken that you putting in there? Or your whole food, plant-based things, your Amazon. I got them from Amazon. Amazon got everything. Amazon has the necklaces, they have the bracelets, they have all of that. This bracelet is black obsidian. It also protects you from that. So I wear all kinds of protective things as well. So there's so many ways to protect yourself. Just know that people calling me. Just know that you can protect yourself and you can protect your family. And so we don't want you to spend all this good money on this good food so you can do better and be better, and then throw it in the microwave and destroy everything that you've been working towards. So, there's so many studies out there that tells us that microwaves, are known to destroy what's in your food. All those good vitamins and minerals and micronutrients that are in your food. It truly takes away, all of that stuff. This article says it is an ominous threat to environmental radiation from electromagnetic devices already. Adding a microwave to it, you already got your cell phones and computers and Wi-Fi, and everything is a smart this and a smart that. The more of that stuff we go to, the more protection you need. And so the more of more of it that you can avoid, it'll be better for you and your family. Back to you, Mr. Satchel. Don't run, you can't hide.
It's like, listen, the one thing I'm going to say about Darlene, when she comes on the call, she will actually mess you up, right? Right. Now, listen. Lynn's hand is up. The one thing I can say about Darlene is when she says these things, and she's not saying them to you as the doctor. She says them to a point that she's experienced something that she's made us aware of it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I remember this conversation the last time we had it. Many of us just didn't know better. So at the end of the day, she says, and we all realize this. One of the things I can tell you is that we all say, once you know better,
you do better.
You're supposed to do better.
Yes.
Now that's tough. And you know what? Darlene never says it. She is so good at what she does because she never makes you feel bad, but she makes you think.
Yeah. I don't want you to feel bad. I just want you to think.
Marcus is like right in the middle of my screen, and he's like,
he's shaking his head. Let me see. He's shaking his head. Let me see. Where is Marcus?
You gotta watch Marcus. Marcus is every Wednesday. Marcus is right there.
Oh, I see his face. Oh, Marcus, I'm sorry. First the pork chops, now this. First the pork chops, now this.
So, then she will always, the one thing you can believe, she's always going to research to the point that these are things that she's aware of, and these are things that we now become aware of, but we never thought about it.
Yeah. And
then you wonder why, even when the doctors say, well, what does it matter? Is there anything different? And you recognize that a microwave, and it's so subtle. Before, like, when I think about it, I thank God for Lynn, because I remember we had the conversation before, and Lynn just took it out. We got another coming upstairs, and it's just differences. A regular pot.
Yeah.
You know, when you say it, she says the time that it takes you to do it in the microwave is the same time it takes you on the stove. But it's your choices. So here it is where she says, okay.
It's an illusion. It's an illusion that it's faster. It's an illusion because it takes the same. Listen, I could come to the stove at the same, you know, all this travel I do, I have friends that they're like, oh, I'm just going to microwave it. At the same time they microwave it, I'm putting the same thing in the pot, and it's done the same time. And by the time they start eating, their food is cold and mine is still hot. Right. Marcus said he got a question.
I'm going to give him the mic now. Look at her hand up too. Hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Marcus.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
I do have a legitimate question.
Come on, Pastor. What's the question, Pastor?
I'm going through it over here because, you know. but on a serious note, I ain't going to go where I really want to go. On a serious note, this talk kind of makes me grateful when I think about life and all the stuff I have microwaved and everything else in my life, and the fact that I'm
driver. What do you do?
That's what I'm saying, dude. So spiritually, grace and mercy have a whole new meaning right now. I'm just saying. That's the Bible study topic tonight. I'm just saying. But anyway, okay. So here's my question: what about? And you may have said this. I had a call come in, so I was out for a couple minutes. But what about when people microwave liquids? Like my wife, for example, she's a coffee drinker. And like we might be out somewhere, you know, in the morning, she might get coffee, she don't finish it, we come home, and then later she wants to finish her coffee. So she'll put the coffee, you know, in the microwave. Or if you're cooking something and you just need some hot water, and you just put a bowl of hot water in the microwave just to heat it up. Being that it's just water, how does that, when you talk about the chemical breakdowns and everything else like that, how does that affect things like liquids?
Well, in the study, it talked about, especially when it comes to doing things like milk. If milk is in the coffee, it breaks down the milk and creates these carcinogens. So definitely not putting coffee in there. Tell her to get her a nice little cute little small pot and just dump her coffee in her small pot, turn it on the oven, and just pour it back in the pot that way. Water, what's happening with water doesn't have a lot in it, but what it's doing is introducing these chemical compounds to the water. It's because it's microwaving the water. You're now getting these carcinogens being added to the water by the radiation that's used to heat the water. So I wouldn't put water in there either.
Okay,
that's a
now,
nice little gift.
When you talk about switching out the microwave for the convection ovens and things like that,
mm-hmm.
What are you looking for in a convection oven? Like, are you looking for a certain level of power, or
it just depends on? So I'm not an oven connoisseur. I just got a regular. So when I got my toaster oven, I got one that is also a dehydrator. I got one that I knew that could bake, and this one that I got, it uses water. So you put water in it so it cooks with steam. And so you just look for the most, anything that, I don't know the power levels. I would just read my packaging, see what it tells me that it's going to do. And as long as it's not a microwave, you winning.
We good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I was actually microwaving some bacon while we were on class, but I guess I got to get rid of that too. So I'm done with y'all today.
Marcus, don't know this. It comes from the most loving part of my heart when I share these things, and I only share them because I want each and every one of us to be our healthiest self. And the only way that can help it happen is if you have the knowledge. And so, now that you have the knowledge and now that you are aware, you can make the educated decisions on how you're going to do stuff. And then if you decide to be a rebel and you go to make some microwave food, you're going to think about me when you put your hand in there. Soon as you open that microwave and sit in there, it's like, oh my God, Darlena. People call me and tell me they hear me and they hear me when they're doing stuff that they know they shouldn't.
Yes, Lord.
I know. Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, man, I wish I could have. Marcus, I'm going to call you. I'm going to make you feel better. But, what I found is, I think it's been a year now that I got rid of the microwave. Mm-hmm. But I will be transparent. The microwave is downstairs in the kitchen that I don't use because it's just there. We have a lot of guests over sometimes, and
so you kill the guests.
I don't know. I just couldn't bring myself. I just couldn't bring myself to put it in the trash pile, but it is there at 10:15. That microwave will be out of the house.
Wow.
But what I have found, can't be quiet because you don't even heat up anything in a microwave anyway. So
yeah, you're not heating up no food anyhow.
So what some of the changes or transitioning I had to do over the last year that I have a convection oven, and when you shop, you have to make sure if you're going to get the convection oven, it's a toaster / convection oven. It's a big one, a nice size one. It's the size of a microwave. But like you said, Darlena, it bakes, it dehydrates, it does several things. They have some that air fry, all of those good things in there. They just don't microwave, which is excellent. But some of the other little things that I found out were reasons that I justify having a microwave, like I said, I primarily used it to heat up liquids. Like if I'm making something and it says I need a cup of melted butter, it was always convenient to throw a stick in the measuring cup and shove the whole thing in the microwave and melt the butter for the recipe. I know coming up, we didn't have a microwave, and that was not something that I even used in the kitchen. I think I got it just for the convenience.
Yes.
And that's what it is. It's a convenience tool. You can still melt the butter. You can still sterilize the baby bottles. I even had a baby bottle sterilizer that went in the microwave because I was the one that would clean all of the pieces to the bottle. Darlene, I put them in a big pot, and then I go get on the phone and do something stupid, come back, smoke detector going off. I done melted all the bottles. And probably after doing that a couple of times, I said, I'm going to get a microwave baby bottle sterilizer. And thank God my kids are 27, 28. They're almost in their 30s now. They look like they okay.
They survived.
They survived it. But, some of the things that I did is I use smaller pots. I have like certain like small pots that I use just to do those little things. Like if I need a cup of boiling water for something, I heat it up in a small pot in the same maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Mm-hmm. I have hot water.
Exactly.
For the coffee problem, because I'm a coffee drinker too. I just got a coffee pot that does the 1 cup at a time. I only brew 1 cup at a time.
Yeah. And they also have those things that you can sit on your desk to keep your cup warm.
Yeah, I have those too. Well, I don't have them now, but yeah, they do have those, and those were helpful for too. And they're nice for candles. They have candle warmers like that too.
Absolutely.
Where you can, so there are a lot of things, a lot of different little, what do they call them? Hacks?
Yes.
Little shortcuts and things that you could do. I changed my pots. Well, I had a couple of pots that I had to let go, but after you did your little pot talk, I think that you should combine the pot conversation with the microwave conversation for us kitchen folks.
Just no nonstick pots. No nonstick pots. Copper, ceramic, or stainless steel, or cast iron. Those are the 4 acceptable things. Nothing nonstick. So I remember my mom saying, "You mean to tell me I got to throw out my Rachel Ray pots?" My other girlfriend called me and said, I was about to throw my pots out. Then I was like, no, these is good pots. I'm going to give them to my daughter. Then I was like, I'm going to kill my daughter. She said, girl, you got me throw away my good pots too. So no non-stick pots either.
I find that there's a lot of shortcuts. The best thing I could say is to do your research.
Yes.
Two, we always tease Jamal about when he would come on here and he'd be like, I'm gonna look it up.
Yes.
So, we gave him his own word,
Jamal.
Let him Jamal.
Let him Jamal it.
Yes, exactly. But it's been interesting this year. And honestly, I don't think that I've missed out on anything not having the microwave in the kitchen,
because it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit, and you don't even realize that you're not using it anymore. I don't realize that I'm not using the microwave until I'm at my friends' houses and I see that they still use it, and then I go into my whole thing and I'm like, they like, where you going? I said, outside the door till you finish doing that. You're not about to get me. But thank you, because Lynn is definitely a cook. She is definitely a kitchen guru. So if you got any questions about ovens and stuff, definitely do your own due diligence. But Lynn is definitely a good resource. She's a good resource for that.
And the air fryer died. I had the air fryer for 3 years. I have not conventionally fried anything like on the stove with oil. I haven't done it in over 3 years.
Yeah. So
we don't miss it.
Nope. So Kathy asked the question, what are the 4 pans? So it's cast iron, your mommy kind. It's stainless steel. It's ceramic and or glass. No non-stick pots. Now they do have some ceramic non-stick, that the copper pots. So that's 5, including the copper. So the copper pots, they had some of them. You'll see if they are nonstick. Look for the tag that says no PFOAs or no POAs. That is short for some kind of carcinogen that's in the nonstick pots. So when you buy them, you want to look for those tag. So some of the newer nonstick pots don't have it in it because they know we know. And because we know not to buy nonstick pots. But now they're making them without those PFOAs and POAs. So it's just like the plastic that's coming out that says now is BPA free, because that BPA is what's caused a lot of cancer in people too. So the plastic, some of the plastic is now BPA free, and some of the pots are now PFOA free. Somebody said question. I saw a question come up. Hurry up, y'all overtime. But I don't mind because it's good. Kim, somebody got a question. Was that you, Lynn, that said you had a question?
Yes, it's me.
Yes.
What about this? What do you know about this induction cooking? Because they say you have to have certain pots that have magnetic properties to cook on the induction cooktops. And is that going to interfere with the food? Because I'm a little leery of not having a flame. I don't like electric stoves, and I like to have my gas stove.
Yeah, I'm a gas girl too. I don't like electric. It's something that I read too about electric stoves and what they do to food and whatnot. But it's not as bad as a microwave. I'm not familiar with induction or magnetic pots, so I'll have to do a little research to find out.
Yeah, I mean, most of your pots have metal. I mean, about a good 75% of your pots have those properties. But, I mean, we're just heating them up on the gas stove. Yeah. But I'm just wondering, when you heat them up in an induction
I don't know
environment,
like I don't know what induction means. Induction means to induce. So what are we inducing? Mm-hmm. Inducing heat, inducing what? So I would have to do a little bit of research to find that out. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there's some homework for you.
Thank you.
Usually I give the homework, but okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I always say, take control over your life, because if you don't, somebody else will. So you might as well go ahead on and get the pot. They call them cast iron. They're great to have.
Yes.
They're great weapons. I can tell you that for sure.
Number 9.
They hold those grits 9. Good.
No,
they hold those grits really good.
What?
They hold the grits good.
That's great.
So just pay attention to what you're using. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. It's so important. Do your due diligence and ask questions if you have to. Send me a message, DM me, all that kind of good stuff. I love you guys.
What's your cash at?